I've been an absolute fiend drinking bubbly water, carbonated, flavorless drinks ever since I got rid of caffeine in my life. And quite honestly, it's really amazing how amazing that tastes. I don't know. It's weird. It's good. I like it. Anyway, how's it going, guys? I wanted to talk about something that I thought would be kind of fun to do while I do this thing, which is play the game that I've never beaten, that nobody cares about anymore. I just wanted to talk about goals. Goals can be pretty hard to develop, quantify, even find a reason to make. Sometimes goals can feel unreachable or, in a lot of ways, pointless. When you're trying to create a goal and you're trying to find something to achieve, whether it's for your own personal success or for the success of others around you, such as like a team effort, you really want to focus on the things that you can do, that you can contribute. Because even if you work on something as a team, even if you work on something with the idea that you're not the only one doing the work, you have to be able to say that what you're doing, what you're contributing, is truly what you can do. There are many ways that we can shortchange ourselves by making goals either too big, too impossible, or even just putting ourselves in the wrong position. Some people are natural born leaders, and other people are better at being in the background of a project or any particular goal. But the most important thing that you can do is be honest with yourself when developing goals. I had the goal of waking up early every morning so that I have time to make YouTube videos, and that's been a real big challenge as well as a real big help. It's been a help, it's been a blessing, it's been great, because I paired that with another underlying goal, was to go to bed earlier, which I sometimes do pretty good at, but I still, no matter what, have the rule that I wake up with my alarm, and on occasion I'll give myself maybe an extra 30 minutes or something in bed. But I've really never gone past that ever since I quit caffeine and paired it with trying to wake up early, right? Wake up early, fix my sleep schedule, the way that I take care of myself. And a lot of it has mostly just been surrounded around sleep and diet. As much as I'd like to add exercise to that, I am not quite ready for that yet. But it's been a very simple yet achievable goal, right? I used to wake up at 9-ish in the morning. I work in the afternoon, late evening kind of shift at work. And so I've always kind of stayed up late and then gone to bed, woken up late and that kind of thing. But I decided that if I wanted to really have a proper amount of time in the mornings doing the things that I love, and I decided that I needed to have a better routine for that thing. And so I set a goal that I could control, and that was something reasonable and achievable. I started by waking up at 8 instead of 9, and then slowly worked my way to 7:30. And even though it took like a week or two to kind of get to that point, I am now consistent in waking up at 7:30 every morning, and that's given me several good extra hours to really work on making videos, hence why you've seen a lot more videos come out recently on the channel. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that it's important to find the things that you love and dedicate yourself to them, instead of letting other people get in the way in like a bad way. Obviously there's responsibilities and other things that are important, but if you really have a goal, be willing to sacrifice for that goal. I sacrifice a little bit of sleep sometimes to wake up early, every morning. I also sacrifice some of the stuff that I do in my free time, such as just playing games for fun or doing other tasks in place so that I can not only make videos, but be more productive around the house so that I can contribute more in me and my wife's relationship together. And so it's one of those things where you just gotta find the proper balance. You gotta be able to sacrifice social media time for your true hobbies and passions, as well as being able to sacrifice for the people that are most important to you. There's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways to create goals. There's a lot of different ways to quantify goals, but one of the ways that I keep so incredibly motivated with YouTube is I try not to create goals that are dependent on other people. Obviously, social media is one of those things where it is kind of dependent on other people if you want to find success, but I don't try to define my success or create my goals specifically around what other people do, how other people react to my videos. I am trying to mostly create my goals based upon things that I can control, actions, and my own purposes. So how many videos I make, and things like that, the types of videos that I make, the types of feelings I want to invoke when I'm editing, things like that, things that I have direct control over. Those are the types of goals that make you feel the best. Goals that are strictly dependent on other people are good and sometimes are necessary depending on the types of things that you're trying to do, such as social media. Of course, I want to get more subscribers. Of course, I want to get more people to comment and like and give their opinions on if my editing's good or if my jokes are funny, things like that. I like having feedback, but at the same time, I also know that I'm not to the point where most people who watch my videos are either going to watch a small portion of it or they're going to watch all of it, and they're either going to comment a little bit, maybe once or twice, or just not at all, right? They're going to take what they find enjoying and they're going to scrub through and ignore the stuff they're not enjoying, etc. And so some of those things that are more dependent on people, I think, are just going to have to wait for the momentum to build before I actually get to a point where I can say that I have a stronger relationship with those types of goals, that I can really bet on them a little bit easier. And that's just it. A lot of things are built upon momentum. Every day that I wake up early to my alarm, the stronger can make a routine. And so good habits, bad habits, it's all based upon momentum. If I want to wake up early, I got to do that consistently if I want it to stick. If I want to work out, I got to do that consistently if I want it to stick. And if I want to keep momentum on YouTube, I got to keep making YouTube videos. If you want to be the best varsity player on your football team, you got to keep playing football. You got to put in your best. You got to put in the work. You want to be better at programming, you got to program more. Want to be better at video editing, you got to video edit more. You want to be able to lift more, then keep lifting. Don't slow down. Obviously, there's necessary breaks, necessary things. There are times when you really just should stop and let your body handle the recovery, and that's all with mental and physical things. You can't overdo it. Otherwise, that halts momentum for an exceptionally long time, longer than if you just skip a day or two. One thing that I think ruins a lot of people's balance in their life really is social media. I think a lot of us spend way too much time on technology, letting other people's thoughts, feelings, opinions kind of take over, intrude our thoughts, intrude our overall self-development. There's a continual process that allows someone to learn and to grow. And especially the older you get, the less time you will have for self-development, especially if you let the algorithm take over. Your focus is important. If you can't focus on the right things, then you'll always be behind on what you want, where you want to be. A lot of the time, there's an enormous amount of practice required to do just about anything right. Oh my. And no matter how many times you fall, if you get up, then you haven't failed, you learned. I think there's a very strong relationship that people have with failure, and a lot of that comes from, I think, a misunderstanding of really what that means. A lot of people look at failure in a very subjective sense. A lot of people find themselves defining moments where they need to learn, and these teaching moments, they define them as purely failure, which I think is true. Not succeeding is technically failure, but failure is so negative when in reality it's just a moment where you can learn and grow and change. You become a different person when you realize that, oh, you did something slightly different than you were expecting. Getting a different result than what you were wanting or expecting isn't necessarily the problem. So the problem is when you find that different result as failure rather than a new result. And I think that is the difference between the inventor and the person who benefits from the inventions. Someone who finds this really amazing invention that really helps their life is usually not the person that goes out and makes the next great big thing. It's the person who continually finds new problems and tries to solve them, rather than being the beneficiary of the problem that was solved. They try to tackle new solutions. Anyways, guys, I got a little ranty there. But basically, if you want to achieve something great, set some goals, start small, don't give up, and be persistent. All right, there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to get to 1,000 subs. I want to, finally get monetized. I want to be able to make videos like this that inspire people, people in the comments to encourage each other and to continue the conversation. I want people to be entertained by some of the other gaming videos that I make, the stuff that's more generally what people make and respond to in terms of gaming. But most importantly, I just want you guys to know that it may sound cliche. I'm sure you've heard this before, but you miss every shot you don't take, and you still sometimes miss a lot of shots that you do take. But the important thing is that every door that you open has a chance to have something pretty awesome behind it, and there's really no reason to hold yourself back. There's always a reason to not do it. And usually that reason is either laziness, self-preservation, or just being totally terrified of the results or the lack thereof. Sometimes getting no results is scarier than getting exponential results on something. Anyway, this video probably has gotten a little long, a little too ranty, but yeah, feel free to continue in the comments. I don't know if this is exactly the way that I was thinking about continuing this topic, or talking about it, going about it. I mean, it was probably very vague in a lot of sense, but for the most part, I just want you to come up with your own goals, come up with the things that you truly want, because I know what I want for my life, for myself, and for my future. But it's another thing for you to come up with what you want in your future, the things you want to try and achieve, because there are so many different ways that we can live this life, so many different opportunities we have to be completely selfless, etc. And, I think we're all a mixture of both. I think we're all a mixture of selfish and selfless. I think there are things that we absolutely would do for everyone else, and there's things that we would never do for anybody. And you just have to decide what's worth it for you. Anyway, thanks for indulging me in this little chat, and I would love to read your thoughts in the comments. Maybe I can come up with a follow-up. If you've got any particular questions or different ways you want to go, I can come up with a little follow-up video on this little thing. But thank you all for watching. And if you're looking for something more serious, I have a little playlist here. Otherwise, if you're looking for something more fun and goofy, just check out just about every other video on my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.